some of us kept egging her on. Well, have you started writing your book? But it wasn't until Connie and Houston Burnside came to our community. And Connie started the creative writing class that gave her the impetus to actually get down to the computer and start writing. And when I read this book this last week, lucky me to get a preview of it, I tell you, I laughed, I cried, I shrieked, so will you. And besides that, I really envied her, because imagine being in a country like that where history was unfolding with names like Haile Selassie, the Shah of Iran, and wait till you read how she, as a woman, started her own business in Iran. That was really an eye-opening situation. But it was a joy to read from a literary standpoint. On her.
I want first of all to thank Marjorie, Wesley Palm's esteemed best-selling author, for her kind remarks, and Houston and Connie for the prodigious amount of work they are putting into this event, which, to tell you the truth, embarrasses the heck out of me. And Don McAvoy, who was one of the prods who made me write, and all of the residents and guests who are here today. Special thanks to Dan for the unusual Taste of Africa here today. I had only one suggestion when I heard about Taste of Africa, which was not my idea. Please, no crocodile. A year ago, I never dreamed I'd be standing here before you to share my story. When one moves into a place like Wesley Palms, you come with a certain comforting amount of anonymity. All the creases of your personality are left behind. Now that's all finished. I've blown it. And you will soon know more about me than you had ever wanted. Have a good time with it and don't hold it against me. As Marjorie pointed out, John F. Kennedy said in his inaugural speech in 1963, ask what you can do for your country. My husband Gordon and I thought pretty seriously about those remarks and devised a way to comply. Gordon applied to and was appointed to a position with the United States Information Agency. The mission of this agency was to tell America's story abroad. We jumped at the chance for Gordon to leave his public relations job in Chicago, largely devoted to raising the per capita consumption of pickles, candy, and ice cream, and take on a more important task. We were not frightened for the changes facing our 3 young children. In fact, we anticipated them. We were going to go somewhere for our first posting and take on a new life. We had no idea where. The rule was worldwide available. When Gordon was in Washington for a training stint, he called one night to ask me what I thought of Ethiopia. My reply, tell me where it is and I'll think about it. I have no detailed recollection of the events which preceded our goodbyes to family and friends in December of 1963. My parents housed us at the Yale Club in New York for a few days before we left. It took 3 taxis to get us all and our 21 pieces of unmatched luggage to Kennedy Airport. We were off. We had traveled some in Mexico and in Europe, but nothing prepared us for arrival in Ethiopia. There was a family of colleagues who helped with entry. We enrolled the children, Dick, age 11, Andy, 9, and Billy, 6, in school. At first they were in an American school, but that didn't last. Details are in the book. We couldn't move directly into the designated house, but we made do in a hotel, where I showed the chef how to make peanut butter sandwiches for the boys to take to school. The American embassy became the administrators of our life, but the house to which they assigned us wouldn't work. The previous officer had been a bachelor. We were 5. Gordon could not get used to the boys moving their bowels while he was in the shower. Before long, we found an appropriate house with 2 bathrooms and a short distance to an international school to which the boys could walk. We were met by a staff. Bramu, the cook, was tall, skinny, illiterate, and sweet as all get out. He helped me more than anybody else to get acclimated. He wore a long, stained, partly white apron to do his chores. His son Tesfaye, about a year older than Dick, was usually at the house too. It was a godsend for the boys to play soccer, learn some Amharic bad words, and have a friend. We began exploring the community and food. Taruna, Gordon's driver, took us into town in the first few days. Within a day or two of our arrival, the family drove into the heart of town with Taruna showing us the ropes. I can never forget my 3 young boys holding up with courage as lepers shoved their stumps and arms into our car window to gain attention and alms. I was terribly proud of my crew. I honestly didn't think I was scarring them for life. Rather, it was the seed of world understanding.